Shalom Israel. First, I want to start by giving all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors into the elders, apostles, and bishops of GMS Great Millstone, who rule well, teach, and edify. Shalom to you, hopefully like the Akim and Akwat in this household of faith. My name is Yeshaya. Audubon with the Zama make an edifying video going into, the fashion of this world, in accordance to those that believe on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, at the elect, the fact that you move different from the world, and all the things that have to do with the world, me and a brother earlier was at the gym, walking around, and you just notice, it's like almost like all eyes on me, and like you're not even really peeping a room like that. It's not like you coming and shit just trying to, it's just, you could just feel the energy off of these people, and that's something that's going to happen when you're in this faith, because bros have a spirit on them, that spirit of light, that spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that has been given unto us from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the earnest of spirit, as it says in 2 Corinthians 5:5. All right, so we have confidence in that which we walk in. All right, so in the back of your head, you understand why. John 3:19, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. So even though you may grab these people's attention in public, sometimes you might have a regular conversation with a Jake, and you might try to throw a couple seeds in there, but really doesn't spring anything forth. This, the scriptures say, sow the seeds, and the Lord will water them ultimately. And a lot of these people don't catch on. Even though they hella all up in your business all the time. I know bros probably got like ex-women they used to deal with, or ex-homies they used to be friends with, and motherfuckers always all up in your business, trying to see what you doing, trying to see what you want, trying to see what the fuck you been up to lately and shit. But when it comes to this faith, especially those individuals who lost those personnel through this faith, when it comes to this faith, they can't catch on to shit. They're dead. You know what I'm saying? Revelation 11:8 spirit. The body's laying, Salakia, dead in the streets of spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Right? And that's here, Babylon the Great, man, which we know is spiritually America. John 14:17, and it says, even the spirit of truth, actually, Salakia, I'm going to read up a little bit. I'll read it at 15. It says, if you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, which is these scriptures, that he may abide with you forever. And then one thing that you notice about these people, man, this world isn't able to comprehend this truth. There's a lot of times where you be, teaching, the highways and hedges, and you motherfucker ask, what's up with y'all? What y'all got going on? Why is this? Why is that? And then, you tell them, we the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of the Bible, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which dates back to the 12 tribes. These motherfuckers be like, oh, word. And then you bring out a precept or a Bible verse, as these people call it, to go along with it. Motherfuckers do a quick U-turn. They walking away because the world can't comprehend the spirit that we walk in. That's why when you walking through the city, motherfuckers always got to look, because Jake is the salt of the earth. The scriptures even say, shine your light upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? And we are those men, where you may be saved out of this world, because this world just isn't for us. This is Esau's kingdom. This is his rulership. This is his lot right now. You know what I'm saying? But what we're looking for is something after this. That's why scriptures say, we're being those pilgrims. We're not trying to settle into this place, because lo and behold, a lot of brothers, if they were, in the world, they're so talented that they would be able to accomplish remarkable things. But that's all vanity affairs, neither here nor there. So at the end of the day, it's not us that's the problem. It's the world that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? But John 14 and 17, even the spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive. The world cannot receive the spirit of truth. Why do you think those, what was it, Judah? Or was it the northern kingdom? Salakia. Why do you think they told Jeremiah, those Jakes told Jeremiah, said, tell the seers to see not and tell the prophesiers to prophesy not, or prophesy smooth things? You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they tell the prophets to just basically just don't tell us? You too woke. You know what I'm saying? You understand too much. You know, but they always like to be up in your business though on the same time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make fucking sense, man. They're in this, Babylon, meaning confusion. They out here just in a confused ass state of mind. They don't know what the fuck to do with themselves. They don't know whether to go or whether to just keep on moving and living their own lives. You know, because it itches the ears of a lot of these people. A lot of these people, they'll walk by and they'll hear this word go out and they'll just shake their head. They'll be like, yeah, you know, agreeing with it, but the Lord has not drawn them in. You know, the scriptures say in Isaiah 30 and 20, you know, it says, this is the way, walk ye in it. You know, the elect are going to understand what that way is. Most bros woke up off of YouTube, the YouTube ministry, you know, the internet. A lot of men, you know, before the internet, it's kind of like word of mouth. You know, they seen the prophets prophesying and the Lord drawing them in at that time when the sanctuary was much smaller. You know, but at the end of the day, it's only for an elect set of people to understand what this faith is. It says, whom the world cannot receive because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwell with you and shall be with you. And who is that? That's the elect, chiefly the men. Because the scriptures say the flock of my pastures is men, right? You know, when you women have your place, though, you know, you aquath out there, you have your place. It's a special place in a position that you do, you know, but you're not a man. That's just what it comes down to. 1 Peter 4:1. For as much then as Hamashiach hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, for he hath suffered in the flesh, hath ceased from sin, that he shall no longer live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of man, but to the will of the Lord. The point's right here. For the time past of our lives may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, meaning we're living in that foreign state of mind. You know, we was dealing with all different, you know, basically we was dealing with the Lord, or not the Lord, the world. We was dealing with the world in that state of mind. All right? Reading on, it says we walked in lasciviousness, lusts, excess of wine, revellings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. And then to cap it off, it says, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. And that's what, you know, as a sincere person in his faith is going to go through. You're going to have family members talking shit on you, man. You know, the scriptures say, you know, a prophet is not a Salakia. Salakia, I forgot what this precept was at. I'm going to have to search it up. There it is. Prophet not received in his own town. Mark 6:4. Salakia Akim. And then I'm going to reread that 1 Peter 4:4. It says, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riotings, speaking evil of you. So, you know, that's what you experience in this faith. You have motherfuckers that see the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai on you, right? And they going to start speaking evil of you. As it says in Jeremiah 20:10, he experienced the defaming of the prophets. If he said anything, he'd be locked up. They chased him from town to town, all that bullshit. But why is that necessarily? It's because they hate the Lord. As it says in John, the first chapter, St. John, the first chapter, in the 5th verse, it says, light shineth upon darkness, but darkness cannot comprehend light. The darkness in which these people dwell in is like a eminent state of darkness. That's literally what they're supposed to be in. That's how they dwell. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing that can help them except for the Lord coming back and setting righteous judgment upon this place. Revelations 22:11, real quick, says, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. These people have spirits that are just made to be just that. Filthy, unjust, and that's what we're experiencing here in these latter days as these spirits are starting to ramp up. I don't know if bro's been noticing it, but if you go out in public and shit, people staring at you harder than a motherfucker, like they see a fly in your nose, and you look back at them, you make eye contact. These motherfuckers not even trying to head nod. You know what I'm saying? They just looking at you like you don't belong there. And that's true. We don't belong here. Lord, willing we part of those elect, we ain't gonna be sitting around regular ass motherfuckers, man. Right? We're gonna be dwelling in a high place, because those which were humble will be exalted, and those who were exalted shall be humbled, like the scripture says. The elect are going through a great humbling right now. So when we get to that kingdom, bro, we're not gonna be around these motherfucking filthy niggas, man. These fucking heathens and shit. You got Elam out here looking at you up inside down like they don't smell like hot ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the one that smell like fucking mustard onions right now. Like, who the fuck are you looking at? But hey, Mark 6:4 says, but Yahushua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country and among his own kin and his own house. So bros might even try to tell their parents what this faith is, try to tell their siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandmas, great aunts, like anything that you can think of. They try to tell them, but motherfuckers be like, oh, he tripping. I can't believe you would believe in such a racist thing. These are the same motherfuckers that had gutted your grandma. If you go into the fucked up things that they was doing to Gad, because I have family that comes from Gad, and they always want to defend fucking Esau, man. That's Stockholm syndrome. These motherfuckers love the oppressor, bro. That's, and the scriptures also say, woe unto them that go into Egypt for help. These are the same motherfuckers that made an entire species of buffalo just to take fucking pictures with them. And you trust this devil for what? The scriptures say, trust not thine enemy, for his wickedness, rusteth as iron, roughly paraphrasing. This motherfucker Esau's a devil, man. All right? And these heathen nations don't care about you either, bro. They're proud as fuck too. And they've had their hand in trying to destroy you Israelites out there, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? And there's still countries that you can go to with these same values. They still don't like you. You got dark skin, they looking at you like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a perpetual hatred. And it's a part of the curses as well. No matter where we go. Cursed thou be in the city, cursed thou be in the field. You're going to be cursed. And those curses upon you going to have you looking, have you in a byword. You know what I'm saying? We don't live in this life to be respected of men, none of that shit. These people don't fucking like us. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. As it says in Galatians 1, and the message that we spread, which is the truth, right, is what we continue to say. But these people don't want to hear it. They think it's crazy. They think it's anti-Shem. You know what I'm saying? You even got to watch your fucking vocabulary making videos, man. They think it's anti-Shem, anti-Skittles. It's even anti-Negro at times. 'Cause you fucking niggas be so fucked up, man. But we still gonna tell you the truth, because that's exactly what we're to do. That's what we've been sent here to do. We're not sent here to be liked among men and liked among people. Even Moses of his time, they never heard his message. But then those motherfuckers was knocking on the ark. The Lord shut it. You are not coming in here. We are building that spiritual ark right now. The time of Jacob's trouble is getting closer and closer as the days go on. And if bros notice, bro, the days are going quick. You wake up and you go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Wake up, go to work, take a shit, go to sleep. That's really how it's been lately, man. You know? So understanding that, brothers, we almost out of here. You know, and a lot of things like these people staring hard as fuck. Even these fucked up spirits might even start hopping on, you know, people to start affecting you. You know, you might deal some assholes on the freeway or something like that, you know, or even worse, at your job, at your own household. Your woman might even catch a demon on her. So be circumspect, man. You know, we are aware of Satan's devices. Now ultimately goes into Esau, but even the spiritual demon Satan, you know, because that word demon goes into intelligence. He knows what ways to pick on you. He knows, you know, like Apostle Paul talked about that thorn in the flesh. You ever had a thorn or something like that in your arm and it got pushed? You ever, you know what I'm saying? Or like you had a wound or a bruise and somebody slapped that motherfucking bruise? It hurts almost worse than when you got it. If not even way worse than the initial wound. It hurts it like a motherfucker, man. You know? And so that demon Satan, who's instructed by the Lord on the left-hand side, knows exactly how to test you and what to test you on. And the Lord permits everything. So we must go through these chastisements with the mind that, for one, it's going to start ramping up as we get closer to these end times, but we must endure and see that this is all spiritual tests as well. Being circumspect also about the tribulations that you face. Because we're still trying to grow. We're still trying to learn. We're still trying to know. There's still a lot to go. It's like, I didn't mean to rhyme, but you know, that's what's happening as we get to this, you know, as we're, Lord willing, waiting for this, all this shit to pop off. Lord willing, it happens soon. But Galatians 1:9 says, as we said before, so I say now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed. And that's what's going on. Look at the Roman Catholic Church. You got Roman Catholic churches, even the Pope Francis, he co-signed fucking colorists, you know what I'm saying? The motherfucking, them, I don't even know what to call them right now. I just, you know what I'm saying? You just got so much hate for these motherfuckers, man. But you know what I'm talking about? The Juners, the fucking June month. He co-signed them motherfuckers, man, saying, oh, you could come in. I even drove past the church that said that, you know, welcoming them motherfuckers, bro. Welcome, you come as you are. And then you're going to be baptized in the same bath as that nigga. Don't baptize me in that nasty ass water. Go clean that motherfucker up. So like you just joking around, but them niggas are, man. And that's what you get from that confusion, man. That Roman Catholic Church. With the false idols at the head of it. Be saying God and JC, which is what the world ignorantly calls the true power. You know, but they're not able to comprehend that, like we just read in John 14:17. This truth is really for the elect. That's why Romans 11:7, it says, you know, Salaki, I don't even want to misquote it. Romans 11:7. It reads, what then Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So chiefly, this not even chiefly, period. This truth is for the elect. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's not for the rest of these fucking nations. You know, that's why the scriptures say, let the multitude perish which are born in vain. It's not Israel that was born in vain. It was the rest of these fucking, you know, heathens out here, man. These lowlifes, these other nations. The sons of man and the sons of Esau. Because, you know, man is split in third parts. The sons of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the sons of man, which is his heathen nations, and the son of the wicked, which is Esau. Right? So this truth surely isn't for the heathens or Esau. You know, it goes against them. They're going to go into captivity under us in the kingdom. That's what they're for. You know what I'm saying? You know, it even says, is it Moab is a washing pot, or is it Ammon? You know, Salakia. I have to get that one real quick too. I'll get it after this. Verse 10, it says, "For do I now persuade men or Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? Or do I seek to please men? For I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Hamashiach." So we're not here to please men. We're here to please Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And that is doing exactly what we're told to do. What did the Lord tell Jeremiah when he felt like he didn't have the voice to be able to speak against, kings and nations like he did? It's like, gird thy loins up as a man. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? The elect are going to be able to put on the Spirit to do it, and courageously as well. You know what I'm saying? Stand in the face of that bullshit. Even Moses stuttered, but yeah, he still said what he had to say. Regardless of how the message gets out, as long as it's in the right spirit, is what what we got to do, man. Standing against, prophesying against this nation, these false ass gods, these this bullshit ass place, prophesying against this world. You think the world's gonna like it? Fuck no, but fuck them. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get that precept because it kind of ties in too. I know it's in the Old Testament. So give me 1 second. Kind of forget where it's at. Here we go. "Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph thou because of me." So Moab is my washpot. Who is Moab? The so-called Chinese. "Edom will I cast out of my shoe." Who's that? The so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers are literally purposeless, man. Moab is going to be the washpot. That motherfucker going to be working. In the kingdom under that subjection, he going to be working. They ain't going to be them proud-ass looks. Proud-ass fucking Moabite when you see him, bro. Nigga be squinting at you and shit. Psalm 60:8 in the NLT says, "But Moab, my wash brazen, will become my servant, and I will wipe my feet on Edom and shout in triumph over Philistia." Salaki, I can't say that word very well. All right. So, the NLT just puts it like that. "My wash basin will become my servant, and I will wipe my feet on Edom." And that's what's going to be done in the kingdom. Clearly is that. So, if you bros ever be, just strolling around town and shit, you see these motherfuckers eyeing you down, man, the spirit's out there. The spirit is definitely out there, man. Bros is going through it too. You know what I'm saying? But that's all it goes to say, be wise. Like the scripture say in Matthew, it says, "I've sent you as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be as wise as serpents and harmless as doves," man. Peep shit and get out of the way. The scriptures say, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and moveth out the way, but the unwise go and basically get destroyed," in Proverbs, roughly paraphrasing. So we're kind of getting into those times. It's like that big fight, like with the bully. You fighting the school bully, the underdog come in trying to fight the school bully, and everybody knows what's going on. And this motherfucker walking around proud and shit, motherfuckers mean mugging you because no one could beat this nigga. But hey, man, soon enough this motherfucking devil Esau is going to be put down to where he needs to be, which is down very below, man. And the elect are going to be set up. Right? Where a kingdom warren dwelleth righteousness forever. Right? Because the scriptures say in the Apocrypha, Esau is the end and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. And that's what we're looking forward to, man. This low life ass society where people live on a disgusting ass reprobate fucking low level mind is not for those that which seek it to be clothed with like white robes. Those that, are for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the elect. All right? This society isn't for us, man. This shit is wicked. It's wicked from head to toe, no matter how you look at it. But hey, I think that's pretty much the point there. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. I want to lastly give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash, Shalom.